Heyo, Jiggly-Gut here, and today we are going to be playing Dysmantle. This isn't going to be a blind run. I previously played this game. I've put in around 170 so hours and pretty much did everything. But this run, I'm going to be striving for a no-death run. That's the hopeful outcome. So yeah, I know what I'm doing, and we'll just see how we go with this gameplay. Yeah. So we'll select. Yeah, it says 112 there. We'll put well more into that in various other games. I think I started the game thrice before finally starting on my last run. Anyways, let's get it on. Emoji, Celsius, yeah, that looks fine to me.
This is an automated recording sent from K23, the Crown Station. Everyone will be provided a safe transit as soon as possible.
We all do what we must, just to survive, just to exist. When our society started to collapse, I was prepared. My underground shelter was filled with food and supplies, but that was years ago. Nothing's left now. I have no idea what awaits me at the surface, but I can't stay here. All I know is that there's supposed to be an evacuation site to the east. I need to get there. I need to escape this wretched island.
And that is pretty much the story for the game thus far. Some type of event, and we're heading east. Anyways, as the title implies, the main premise of this game is, well, dismantling stuff. Like this barbecue cooker there, for instance. This right here is a campfire. It also acts as a respawn point should we die. Well, I'm hoping not to die, so yeah. Our first objective, which we'll be getting from this exclamation mark coming up ahead, is to upgrade our crowbar, in which we need 2 scrap metal and 5 scrap wood for. I'm already well on my way to having the required assets needed for that. So what you want to do is pretty much break all the chairs that you see, the 2 barbecue cookers, and that's enough for your crowbar. So we're going to come down here. You can only upgrade at the campfire, unless you're lucky enough to come across an upgrade workbench in your travels. Anytime you rest at a campfire, it's kind of like Dark Souls or Bloodborne or whatnot. You rest and the enemies respawn. But if you upgrade your items at a workbench, the enemies will remain dead. Okay, so we want to upgrade our crowbar. And I'm going to track those 2 items for now. Let's get up. So now we need some plant matter and fabric for our backpack, and we need 15 scrap metal and 15 scrap wood for our next crowbar. Now that we've upgraded our crowbar, we can smash to bits this table, and more importantly, this dresser that is in our way. We can also now smash these oil drums to get a bit of scrap metal from. I'm going to take the opportunity to tear these vines off the wall here for some plant matter. It looks good to me. There's a few more oil drums around here. We'll take advantage of smashing all of that. I'll pick up that scrap wood in a moment. So down the bottom of the screen there, we've got our backpack slots. Now each slot can only hold one of a particular item, designated by the picture, and it can only hold so many units of that particular item as designated by the tiny little squares underneath the picture. And as we upgrade our backpack and level up some, we can increase the amount of units we can carry of a specific object. Now we want to come in here. We've got a radio here.
All working evacuation transports are outbound. Please keep calm and wait for the maintenance. This is an automated recording sent from K23, the Crown Station.
Now all around the game we get radio transmissions, automated transmissions through radios. We find scattered around the island, which is a pretty big island. So we've got the 10 plant matter. We still need 4 bits of fabric for the backpack. We're well on our way to getting the materials for crowbar level 2. Before we leave this, I guess you could call it the prologue area, I want to upgrade my crowbar to level 4, which is doable, but you've got to manage your resources properly. If you don't dedicate to upgrading your crowbar, you won't have enough resources to get it to level 4. So here's our first enemy. This here is the ex-human scrapper. Kind of looks like a clicker almost from Last of Us. These are our very basic enemy, and they just swipe at us like an angry cat. But they're not very strong. You know, we can sneak at them and do damage. All you got to do is kite them around like that, and they shouldn't be able to hit you. They'll just miss you every time. If they're nice and close like that, just whack at them while backpedaling. You know, they're not really an issue at all. And they drop fabric for us. They also drop scrap metal on occasion as well. If we hit spacebar and move in any direction, we can dodge. We can strafe around the enemies. Now, scrappers are supposed to be strong in packs, but again, you know, whether it's one or several, just backpedal and swing, and you shouldn't have any problem with them. So we got some more scrap metal there. Items we can search or investigate are designated by a little magnifying glass. I won't be checking that just yet, as I'm hoping for a perk that we may or may not get at level 3. So again, you just want to play it safe with these early enemies. We've got like, I think it's like 10 hit points or 20 hit points or something designated by a love bar up there, and most enemies can kill us in 1 to 2 hits at them. Keeping out of harm's way is ideal. But like I said, if you are smart and err on the side of caution, you really shouldn't be getting hit at this point in the game. As the scrappers, they're none too bright. Okay, so we're running out of spots there. We can only carry fabric. Here's another campfire. We can pretty much dump our materials into that without lighting the campfire, but I want to activate this. So this will reward 1,000 experience upon completion. What we've got to do is level up, upgrade our backpack, and find a map at the link tower. So, okay, I might as well light it seeing as I'm here. So, what we want to do in most areas is we want to find these link towers. And upon activation, we get a scan of the map. Or rather, a scan of the zone we are in. With this first one, it'll unlock us our sort of GPS radar thing in the corner. It'll also unlock us the clock, the thermometer, and our exact coordinates, which we can use later down the road, pretty much. So activate that, and it'll scan this entire area for us, like so, and it will show us the nearest other link towers in adjacent areas. So we can open the west gate or the east gate. The east gate is our objective, but we can't do that just yet because this asshole's in the way. Anywho, now that we've got the link tower, we've officially got our timer there, the amount of days we've been playing the game, our map coordinates down the bottom, how hot it is, it's 15 degrees Celsius. So if I rotate the camera that way, now, north is up the top there. It's pretty much our compass as well. So that arrow pointing towards day 1 is the arrow pointing north. So yeah, east is to the top of the screen. We've got enough materials for the backpack, so I'm going to come back here. At level 2 you get the power to invent items, they say, which is basically, at the moment we can create a cooking pot with 5 ceramics and scrap metal. Now, we'll need to do this for a little objective we get further up in this zone in particular, but if we want the level 4 crowbar, we can't blow any ceramics until we've got it. Once we get the level 4 crowbar, then we can get more ceramics and complete that before we leave. So we can create that. We can also invent our throwing knife, which we need scrap fabric, metal and plastics for. Again, that's an objective for a mission further up. Up here we've got clothing items. We unlock the next one at level 3. Over here, all of the inventions that we get access to are unlocked at the designated levels. So level 3 there, level 5, 10, etc. But all that we're seeing is not the only ones on the board. Later on we'll discover more recipes that we can create, provided we're the right level to create them. Okay. Oh, that's a bug report, I don't want to do that. So, I'm not sure. I might have got a little carried away there. I forgot to upgrade my bag. Let's do that now. So, now that that's upgraded, we look down, we've got an extra slot, and each slot can hold 5 units of a given material. So we need, there's our 1000 XP reward. So we need scrap metal for the crowbar, we need scrap wood for both of them. Again, I'm going to focus mostly on getting the crowbar first, as that's our early damage dealer. So, worth tearing down some drain pipes. I'm also tearing the vines down for some of that plant matter that we're going to need further down the way. Yeah, that's funny. We can destroy the 44-gallon drums or 50-gallon drums or whatever the fuck they are, the oil drums, but we cannot bust up the cheap-looking garbage bins until we've got a crowbar level 3. It's always better because those things are made of a really cheap aluminium. Hence why they used to be used in, professional wrestling as a sort of gimmick to attack an opponent with, because they dent real easy. We'll smash these. They're a good source of scrap wood and metal. Because we rested at the campfire before to upgrade our backpack, all of the enemies that I killed previously are back to life. Which isn't too big a deal because, you know, like I said, they're weak. So we need 6 more bits of scrap wood. I'm going to do the rounds here and try for some more scrap fabric. Yeah, we can't open the west gate because there's a bunch of arseholes outside of it. We're going to loop all the way around to do that. So again, just sneak up behind them if you can. If not, just, you know, run out like Mel Gibson in Braveheart. You know, crown them. If they see you, then just let them come and give them a bop on the scon. Okay. Now, if an enemy is coming at you and there's no other enemies nearby, the game will automatically lock onto them for you. Which is somewhat handy and somewhat annoying at the same time. Sometimes it, you know, locks onto something that you don't want to lock onto. Smash this barbecue here. I've got a couple of chairs in here, I'll smash them. Now you've got like plates and mugs on the table there, we'll need those later for ceramics. I might as well grab these right now, that's for ceramics. Oh, damn it. Grabbed a bit of plant matter apparently. So on the way back to our box here, I'll just tear some vines off this fence. There we go. Nice and full. Now I'll run back here, grab the ceramics, because we will need them shortly. Now, if you look down there where the picture of the coffee cup is, you'll notice that the bar is green. That designates that this item is an uncommon item to the common whites. Then the next rarity is blue for rare. Then it is purple for, I think it's epic, and then legendary is like a sort of beigey brown colour. Let's see, 3 more bits of wood. We've got a couple of chairs in there, so we'll demolish those. We'll get the ceramics off the table. If you make noise, that circle above the enemy's head will increase, and once it fills about halfway, they'll start patrolling for the source of the noise. So if I bash on this table, it'll fill up some more, and once it gets halfway, it'll start moving to sort of go, okay, what's going on? And if it fills up all the way, they'll have noticed this. Okay. So we'll grab that ceramic while we're at it. Okay, we can break this coat rack over here for some wood. And 1 more chair. That'll do us for the crowbar. A little bit more fabric there too. So now we could rest for the crowbar. Campfire restores your health, but also respawns monsters. However, there is a way to stop them from coming back. Of course, we also need to hit level 7. Anywho, let's upgrade the crowbar. So the damage goes up to 16. So we're really low level right now, and the game wants to throw this quest at us. Unfortunately, to my knowledge at least, there's no way to keep from tracking a quest. So eventually, you know, you can't see your quests unless you're stopping or the game, which we can do like that. So that's our map of our first zone here. That is our destination. We can scroll out, zoom in. Everything is coordinates based and based with a grid. like A1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, which is handy when you're trying to find points of interest. So take this for example. We've got this, which we found at the coordinates of 1,365 degrees by 518, whatever. So we can find that right here is where I got it, pretty much there. Now, if we wanted to find like the next point of interest, that'd be between there and this radio, which was back in the house. Now that doesn't tell you too much, unless you know that all of the points of interest scale from top to bottom, left to right. So after you've uncovered a few points of interest, you can work from top left, pretty much goes top of the grid down like to the bottom, and then it'll go to the next grid and work its way from left to right all the way down and so on. So it's kind of, it's pretty easy finding items later on. Then it sort of keeps track of what recipes we've got, our in-game achievements. We fulfill these and we get bonus experience, creatures we've encountered and their drops if we've killed enough. They'll tell us what they give, our total progression, and the amount of materials we have saved up in our box. And let us continue on. So now that we've got a level 3 crowbar, we can finally break these bits and a bunch of other items that we couldn't break previously. This time we need scrap metal and ceramics. We are well on our way with both right now, so it is no big. Grab some more of this. Of course, our crowbar is capable of doing much more damage. It's still a little subpar, but it'll pick up. Let's see. Can break these clotheslines for a bit of scrap metal and fabric. Now, usually if there's a fight going on, the enemies will hear it if it's nearby. But for whatever reason, I didn't want to come by and see what was going on. So we've got our 25 scrap metals. Again, we'll kite her back a bit. Now, I know where I can get some ceramics, so I'm going to go further afield and take on that big fat guy that we saw earlier, just to get him done. Okay, we've got enough plant matter now. We still need scrap wood and some scrap fabric, but we will get that in. Speaking of. Now, a lot of the bosses in this game are pretty damn easy, save for a few. And that few we're going to choose anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This is the second enemy we encounter. This is a hurler. He's a ranged enemy, but does have some melee attacks. And he can be annoying to those still getting their feet wet, but they're not really all that difficult. If you can get a sneaking attack, that's great. But all you got to do is sidestep his attacks, keep your distance, and you always try and keep a little distance away from it. So if I don't back up anymore, that's the closest he'll get to us. And then what we can do is counter-attack in between blows if we want. And Another good tack is backing them up against a wall, like I'll do now. Sometimes they'll come in to try and hit you at melee range. All you got to do is back them, backpedal like you would with a scrapper. It's just all about dodging those fellows. So here's our third and final campsite. This zone. We'll drop our materials in here. We'll activate this. For this, we've got to invent the cooking pot, which we won't be doing until we've got our crowbar level 4. Cook any food recipe. We can find a food recipe here in this first zone, tomato soup, and craft some throwing knives. But first, we're going to take on the first boss of the game, who's very easy. He's laughably easy. And that is the False Gatekeeper. Now this guy, he starts off and he's just staring at the gate. All we're going to do is power attack him, take a step back, power attack, step back, rinse and repeat. It's not too hard. So, power attack, step back. That's all there is to it. It's very easy, very dumb. It's like a basic potato. That's all there is to it. Not too difficult. Well, we're level 3. Now, when we beat bosses, say for a certain few, we get these blue eye orbs. And they're used for various important things in the game. We can use them to stop respawns, as mentioned earlier. But we can also use them to activate these battle obelisks that we can do, and we can get various powerful buffs from. Anyways, now that we've got that, yes, that was a legendary item. Here we've got an explosive barrel. And as it would imply, it explodes. When you do enough damage to it, it'll generate this ring, which is essentially the amount of time you've got to get away from it and its blast radius. Anyways, there is the last of our ceramic. So now that we've got that, we're going to come over here and upgrade our crowbar to level 3. So now that we're level 3, we get to pick a perk. That's not really good unless you like eating your food. And to eat your food, you've got to be carrying it. It's not really all that useful. Pitcher's good if you've got the throwing items. Right now I've got none. Pack rat. It'll give us another slot. That is what I'm going with, because it'll be fantastic. And now that we're level 3, we can get like a bag of blood. For that we need plant matter and plastics, but it will give us a extra amount of hit points while we've got it equipped. So it's a useful trinket. We want to upgrade the crowbar to level 3. Now we need 25 ceramics. In this starting area we should find just enough to get the level 4 crowbar, provided we don't blow our ceramics on inventing the cooking pot helmet. But I will leave that for next time. Until then, this has been Jiggly-Gut, signing out. Take care of yourselves.